Right, this is a quick overview of a knife I got recently. This is a Mora 510. Got this in a trade from someone. Got it brand new. It's not quite... I'd never had one of these before, so it was quite different to what I thought it was going to be like. But I wasn't disappointed at all. So what I'll do, I'll show you this knife. I'll do an overview and then we'll compare it to some of the other Moras that I've got as well. So this is it. And supposedly these had been discontinued for a while. They've rebought them back out again. The only thing that surprised me with it was the size of it. It's actually probably one of the smallest Moras that I've got. Now, I always thought one of the Mora Classics was quite small, but this is even smaller. Now I'll just show you my Mora Classic, the handle has been modified, but you look at blade size, that actually surprised me. No, it's not a bad thing at all. But it surprised me, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad knife. So, the usual sheath from Mora, I'll probably make a kydex on because I really don't like these sheaths. But the good thing is they are ambidextrous, so you can wear it either side, and this is probably light enough to wear as a neck knife. And that's the usual plastic leather. So your blade on this one is around 9.5 centimetres. Overall it's about 20.5 centimetres, and the handle is just over 11 centimetres. This is the carbon steel version. I don't know if they do a stainless one or not. I'll have to have a look into that. The handle on these are not grippy rubber like they are on nearly all the other Moras I've got, except for the Classic. It's kind of like hard plastic this time, rather than grippy rubber. But out of the Moras, which I've seen, if you look on Google you can see x-rays of these to see where the Tangs are. This has got one of the thickest, widest Tangs you can get. Now this Tang they reckon goes down to about here. Whereas on the Mora 711 or whatever, 711, this has a Tang that comes nearly down to here, but it thins down a lot. Just is like a proper stick Tang. But they reckon it comes down to about here on this one. Now this one, it comes down to about the same place, down to here, but it's a lot wider. It's thinner than the blade, but not as thin as a proper stick Tang. Now I can't guarantee on any of these companions on clip or clippers, but I've seen x-rays of these, or where people's cut them away, and some of these, the Tang only goes to about there, which is actually quite surprising. But these have the longest Tang and the widest Tang, except for the Garberg or whatever, of the Moras. And the blade is narrower than most of the other Moras and shorter. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it surprised me. I thought, I don't know why, I thought these was going to be much bigger than this. I just had it in my head that these was going to be bigger than the Clipper and the companions. But that's just me, you know, I just didn't really look into it first. You can see it there in my hand. But even though this is hard and not grippy, it feels right. One thing I will definitely do, I'll drill a hole to put a lanyard on it. And I haven't tried it with a ferro rod yet, but I've got a feeling you might need to just go over the back a bit with a file or something, so it works better with a ferro rod. Well, that's about, I don't know the weight of it, and the thickness, I think it's the same as most of the other Moras, yeah. So whatever that is, you'll have to tell me. I'm not actually sure. Actually, this one which is the new companion. That's actually thicker than it. That's about all I can tell you about that. It feels alright. I've not actually used it to cut much yet. As per usual, you know, razor sharp when you first get them. Now I'll do a little bit of a comparison to some of the others I've got. I'll put that in the middle. So that's the 511. Now this is the Mora that Arthur got me, which is pretty much the same as my original clipper. This one wasn't called a companion, this one was called a clipper. And this one here is pretty much, the sheath is exactly the same but green. It looks, the handle looks slightly bigger on this one. I'll just zoom out of it. Put that there. So this could be a new clipper. This is an old clipper, 511. This is the new companion. And this is the 711. I always found on nearly all Moras, I never really liked the sheaves on them. The sheaves, there's the companion sheath, and there's the clipper sheaves. I don't know where the original sheath to this is now, but that's not much good either. But as you can see, blade wise, the 511 has got the smallest blade and probably the smallest handle, except for an old clipper, maybe about the same size. No, it's smaller. Smaller than the old clipper. It looks about the same. I don't think I took any off the end of the classic when I shaped it, so it's got about the same length handle as the Mora Classic, but even the Mora Classic has a longer blade than it. And the 711, quite a fair bit bigger. But for the price you get these at, you can't really complain about any of them. As long as you don't abuse them and go over the top, which I know some people do, and they still say they won't break them, but I wouldn't go over the top with them. They'll last for a long time. And I've had this one for years. It looks a bit tatty, but that can soon be cleaned up, resharpened and sorted back out again. But it's still here and it still works and it still cuts. So you can see the difference between them. They're all pretty much lined up here. Definitely the smallest of the Moras, but I don't mind that at all. The only difference with any of these are all carbon steel except for this one. I've got this one in stainless steel. Just thought like getting a, you know, something different. Because I'd only ever had stainless steel ones. So I thought, no, I'd only ever had carbon steel ones. So I thought I'd go for a stainless steel one. Right, so there's not a lot more I can say about this. Like I said, it's just an overview. I'd still recommend it to people. I wouldn't say don't get one. You know, from what I've seen and what I've had so far, it's alright knife. If you want a smaller Mora, then get one of these. I'd still say out of grip wise, can't make my mind up about these two. 711's got excellent grip on it. The whole thing is like rubberized. Really good. I don't think that'd ever slip out your hand. But the companions and the clippers, these are good as well. These feel decent in the hand. Right, anyway, that's about as much as I'm going to say about it. So, cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, check out my channel. You always subscribe. I upload them all the time, regular basis. So have a look. Right, cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. If you want to get full notifications from my channel, go to this little gear symbol next to where it says subscribed. Click on that, and here where it says send me all notifications for this channel, click on that and then save it.